So let's install some kind of what I don't know where is it Windows App Store. You install some shit.可能这边打不开，感觉这么说有可能。shit， 我开了 VPN，妈的打不开。fuck that。oh shit。app data mover 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 shit。这个没有办法，这个不敢动 Windows Apps。Microsoft Office 也不敢动，哎，是个错误。抱歉。Open files。The traffic。Oh, interesting. Codex app. Oh, 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 oh. This Windows 10 setup scripters of a bunch of unnecessary Windows telemetry, blah 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 blah. Not guaranteed to catch everything. Review and tweak before running. Reboot after running. Scripts for reversing are included and commanded. Full cover different defaults. security. This tweak may cause you to stop receiving Windows updates. Windows Update Control Panel will then show message your device is at risk because it's out of date. In such case, enable timing. Run Windows Update and then disable again. See also. Parse parameters and platforms. The arrow with the comma doesn't belong. For hibernation, do not use on server with automatically started Hyper-V. Already these two grid sources doing familiar with the UI, but you should join forces and improve those. Function. Please can someone provide me your reference me to VB script that code that disable firewalls, different rounder, level, blah 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 blah. I need a script to disable all OneDrive notifications on does this script pair well with I have no Windows Defender, Windows is completely gone and it's completely gone. I have to DIS and enable features of stock. Wrong setting, do and undo. This is not typically not coming from the script. This is not typically not coming from the script. Do a backup. Reinstall your graphic driver and set the right thing. It wasn't the script's fault. I updated the driver from here. So it was just empty drive doing weird things. We walk on it, didn't look too close at the commands the script and would run, but wondering would this effectively stop the defend, background scanning engine process and latest Win 10. Really tired of it stealing CPU cycles on my thanks. Oh. 除自带。Password policy.是不敢用。都是一些 functions, right? What does it mean? Required privileges. update restart. Auto run. Extensions. Hide the objects from this PC. Bolt. Fresh installations. Windows 10. Windows 11. In place of this script. Oh shit. For Windows 11, I recommend using this two in place of this script. Oh. GitHub.com. Refined over years, this utility goes beyond deep bloating. Okay, but I don't know what the fuck is that. It's meant to streamline stores. Okay, very good. Whoa.
Setting a clean install for Windows 11 is difficult, but with this guide, it's going to fix a lot of problems for you. It's going to remove all the bloat on just the install CD using a new method I just found out a couple days ago. And then we're also going to just customize it using a couple tried and true debloat methods. And that way you have more of like a Windows 7 feel in Windows 11. So with that said, let's get into it. So the first thing is a new tool for basically during install choosing a language. Credit to Theo Joe on this tip. Absolutely amazing. We'll get into that. And then we'll probably go through, do a debloat using my toolbox. I've done a lot of updates just in the past 2 weeks on this. Been working really hard, pretty much all throughout the month of July on it. And then actually changing the browser from Edge and getting rid of Edge completely because I just don't like it. But if you do, you can just not do that section of the video. So let's get into the actual install. We'll load up a fresh VM. So this is the first trick on here, is mainly just to take the time currency format and change this to English World. From English World, you'll actually remove all like TikTok, Prime Video, all those links on your start menu. Just makes it a little bit easier, and to fix, it actually disables Microsoft Store as well, which is really nice, but it's really easy to re-enable, and I'll show that. So let's just go next, and we're just going to do a fresh install. No changes from the stock settings here. Typically, I always like Windows 11 Pro. If you have Home, I highly recommend upgrading to Pro. Use a key, whatever you can find, because then you can really use group policy a lot easier. There's hacks to get it available in Home, but a lot of times feature updates disable those. You run into problems. So I always like Windows 11 Pro if you're choosing a version. All right, with the initial install done, it's going to restart. I'll see you on the desktop. Now, on initial startup, you're going to run into this problem before hitting the desktop. It's a timeout, so it'll probably sit there for about 60 seconds, maybe up to 2 minutes, and then give you this OOBE, which is just out-of-box experience that we're going through. Let's just skip through this, and we'll just set it up as we normally would. We're going to skip the second layout. We're just going to name the device test. Next. And then on this, you always want to choose work and school if you're going to do an offline account, which I always recommend, and I've always just kind of have a habit of doing. If you have a Microsoft account and you're doing stuff through the store, you might do personal use, but I still like the old school way of doing things. We're just going to sign in options, domain join, and then we're just going to name this one test. And, or let's just go test user. Next. Looks like you can see we can still got like the Edge garbage here. We got these widgets. You have just chat and a whole bunch of stuff right down here. Not a very great experience, but a lot better than just using English. With the world, obviously, you can see we don't have any of the shortcut links for any of the other bloatware, whether it's Amazon Prime, TikTok, all that garbage. So it's a lot better starting point. That's why I like it. And you will notice if you launch into the store, it should give a region error. It says not available. We can easily bypass this. We'll just open up settings and type region. And from region, you can easily just set it from world to United States, and you're pretty much done. Close that out, restart the store, and then you can log in and use the Microsoft Store. But I kind of like the fact that if you don't want to ever use the Microsoft Store, you can just leave it on world, and you never have to worry about it intruding on what you're doing, which is kind of nice. So with that said, let's debloat the rest of it. This one, we're going to use my script, which is going to launch into Terminal as an administrator, which is right-clicking the Start menu and Terminal as admin. We'll do IRM, christitus.com/win, and type symbol with an IEX. I'm not going to install Chocolate just for brevity, and just do Brave install here, so we get another browser. So you'll see this go ahead and load up. Have changed Winget to be work on every single Windows system. So if you want to install and do this on Windows Server, you want to install it on LTSC, you can actually install WinGit, which is nice. All right, with Brave installed, we're going to just go to tweaks. I recommend just doing this desktop recommended tweaks. Should be plenty fine for you.
Disable telemetry, disable Wi-Fi sense, disable activity history, disable location tracking, disable home group, disable storage sense.
Nothing crazy here. I'll enable dark theme, add alternate performance, and I'll also remove Microsoft Edge and remove Cortana, which Cortana is more of a GPO setting, so it'll just make sure it doesn't mess with your search bar down here. Let's run those tweaks, and if you want to see kind of what it's doing.
Do I have Cortana? Cortana. Oh. Just smart.
We'll just split the screen and say run tweaks. Alright, the actual tweaks are done. Now it's going to actually launch into an edge removal tool. Avio on GitHub is where I got this tool from. I've obviously copied and modified it just a hair to suit my needs, but it will go ahead and remove edge, remove all the shortcuts, and also do any redirects. So if you're on here and like you see a news story and you want to go ahead and pop up, or maybe even widgets, you could actually do that. But we'll demonstrate that on reboot after doing the tweaks. Of course, we need to do a restart as we've modified the system a bit. A couple things here that I will do is just taskbar settings. I'm actually removing widgets. I'll leave search there for now, and we'll disable that, and then just change it to left alignment, as I kind of like it there. I don't like using a lot of tools. There's a lot of stuff out there to change these. I kind of like sticking to like just official Microsoft stuff. So it just leaves a more minimal, clean system. Kind of gives me, it reminds me of that Windows 7 aesthetic that I really enjoy.
Shit. Or take a look at harden Windows security.
All right, we've rebooted. We're back on our desktop here. You can see we have all that. If we go into search, let's say you click on something here, it should open up in Brave. So let's just click on something, see if it launches Brave for us. And it wasn't launching right there, so we'll just set it as the default browser.
Edge.
You just have to finish setting up Brave. All right, now as Brave is the default browser, it should default to that. So if you have multiple browsers, it's always going to just default to whatever set as your stock. So you can see, opens everything up. It's not nothing with Microsoft Edge. We are everything redirects to Brave, so you never have to see Edge if you don't want. And if we're looking at Task Manager, we can just do Control-Shift-Escape for that. We're down to about 84 processes. This is usually about 140, 150 on a fresh install. I've been...
Oh, interesting. Let me see. Full processes.
Modifying things, obviously you can get lower than this. I've covered tools in the past that strips out Defender and all these other things. I kind of caution against that just because I still want you to run updates. I still want you to not have anything break on your system. And I don't want you to be missing any dependency for like a video game. That's not my intention. So I try and straddle that line of what's really kept and what's needed to all the bloat that comes with it. There's still some telemetry and other stuff, but it's minimized to a point to where you should be able to install whatever it is you need to run and get a nice experience and not have to deal with all the shenanigans you get with the stock Microsoft install. From here, there's a lot of things you can do to further improve your system, but this is basically the way I would set every single install up to where you'll always have a great experience out of the get-go. You don't have to worry about things not working, and you have a nice system that isn't just riddled with a bunch of garbage. So with that, let me...
Okay, 重启一下。
Here we got these widgets. You have all those links on your start menu. Just makes it a little bit easier, and to fix it actually disables Microsoft Store as well, which is really nice, but it's really easy to re-enable, and I'll show that. So let's just go next. Just right-clicking the start menu and terminal as admin. We'll do IRM, christitus.com/win.
USB, what the fuck is that? Let me see. So install some shit.
leaf symbol with an IEX. I'm not going to install chocolate leaf just for brevity.
Scoop apps. I'm not gonna install chocolate.
And just do Brave install here so we get another browser. So you'll see this go ahead and load up. Have changed Winget to be
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
work on every single Windows system. So if you want to install and do this on Windows Server, you want to install it on LTSC, you can actually install Winget now, which is nice. All right, with Brave installed, we're going to just go to tweaks.
AI automation. Tweaks.
I recommend just doing this desktop recommend.
Standard. Minimum. Clear. Get installed. Tweaks. What does it mean?
It tweaks. Should be plenty fine for you. Nothing crazy here. I'll enable Dart.
Low code tracking. Mm-hmm.
Theme.
Delete temporary files.
Add alternate performance, and I'll also remove Microsoft Edge.
What the fuck?
And remove Cortana, which Cortana is more of a GPO setting, so it'll.
Features.我的天！
We'll just make sure it doesn't mess with your search bar down here. But let's run those tweaks, and if you want to see
configuration file. Install. Uninstall. Holy shit. A B C D G M P U. Holy shit. Highlight.
kind of what it's doing, we'll just split the screen and say run tweaks.
Essential tweaks, MISC tweaks.
All right, the actual tweaks are done. Now it's going to actually launch into an edge removal tool. Avio on GitHub is where I got this tool from. I've obviously copied and modified it just a hair to suit my needs, but it will go ahead and remove edge, remove all the shortcuts, and also do any redirects. So if you're on here and like you see a news story and you want to go ahead and pop up, or maybe use a widget, you can actually do that. But we'll demonstrate that on reboot after doing the tweaks. Of course, we need to do a restart as we've modified the system a bit. A couple things here that I will do is just taskbar settings. I'm actually removing widgets.
Taskbar settings. No widgets.
I'll leave search there for now, and we'll disable that. And then just change it to
GMP. Left.
now, and
System tray icons.
we'll disable that.
任务视图。
At
Off, off, off.
and then just shake.
Taskbar left.
Change it to the left.
Show my taskbar on displays. Holy shit. Interesting.
Alignment, as I kind of like there. I don't like using a lot of tools. There's a lot of stuff out there to change these. I kind of like sticking to like just official Microsoft stuff. So it just leaves a more minimal, clean system. Kind of gives me, it reminds me of that Windows 7 aesthetic.
What's up? Okay, let me see. Chén-Zhú, yeah.这个有什么用呢？我操！
That I really enjoy. All right, we've rebooted. We're back on our desktop here. You can see we have all that. If we go into search, let's say you click on something here, it should open up in Brave. So let's just click on something, default browser, it should install here, so we get another browser. So you'll see this go ahead and load up. Have changed Winget to be work on every single Windows system. So if you want to install and do this on Windows Server, you want to install it on LTSC, you can actually install Winget now, which is nice. All right, with Brave installed, we're going to just go to tweaks. I recommend just doing this.
This one. Create an environment variable called with the value of 1, which will tell PowerShell not send true data. Minimum standard. A bunch of systems to manual that doesn't need to be running all the time. It's pretty harmless as it's needed. Start on demand. Erase. Hibernation is really meant for laptop as it says for memory users. It really should never be used. Tasks with right click enables option to end task. Right clicking program on end taskbar. Run disclaimable and removes all Windows updates.
Desktop recommended tweaks. Should be plenty fine for you, nothing crazy.
Recommended selections.
Here I'll enable Dart. Theme, add alternate performance, and I'll also remove Microsoft Edge and remove Cortana, which
What is Razor? Storage sense. So remove all MS store apps. What the fuck? Full screen optimization. Disable car management. Remove the home from Explorer sets this PC as default. Oh, interesting. The gallery from sets this PC as default. Disable various annoyances like Brave, rewards, crypto wallet and VPN. Background apps. Disable all Microsoft Stores apps from running in the background, which has to be done individually since caution. Block UR. Adobe UI blocklist. Reduce user interruptions by blocking connections. Next one clicker. Customize preferences. Performance plans.
Cortana is more of a GPO setting, so it'll just make sure it doesn't mess with your search. Cortana's enable dark, mid tweaks. Should be plenty fine for you. Nothing crazy here. I'll enable dark theme, add alternate performance. And I'll also remove Microsoft Edge and remove Cortana, which Cortana is more of a GPO setting, so it'll just make sure it doesn't mess with your search bar down here. Let's run those tweaks, and if you want to see kind of what it's doing, we'll just split the screen and say run tweaks.
Default run tweaks. Fail to restore different dot. Oh shit. If you are on laptop, do not use hyperphones or automate.
Alright, the actual tweaks are done. Now it's going to actually launch into an edge removal tool.
Enable disable.我靠，是不是点快了？完了。完了，我点坏了，操！我去。哦，还正是。77。 桥。无语，就是很无语。Performance pass。